and good day. My name is Jürgen Steinmetz from eTurboNews, and this is a breaking news update. For more news updates and shows, please go to youtube.com/travel news group. youtube.com/travel news group. Here's our update.
Les Crus Bourgeois du Medoc, making wine buying easier. Retail model. If you find walking into a wine shop to purchase a few bottles of vino for dinner or gift to be a confusing task, you are not alone. I have come to the conclusion that the retail side of the wine industry is mired in the past. There appears to be a fervent belief that the wine shops and wine sections of supermarkets currently offer the best shopping experience ever, and tampering with the consumer's wine buying experience would be sacrilegious. Paralysis. While wine retailers hang on to the past, winemakers are looking for pathways that will enable consumers to buy more wines. Wine marketing researchers have determined that consumer paralysis happens because wine shoppers are confronted with a wealth of options, perhaps too many choice. In addition, there is a lack of consistency from country to country on how wines are named and classified. Importing and distribution impacts on the types of wines available in local wine shops and restaurants. Brands and varieties in one shop or bar may not be available across venues because of limited channels of distribution or other marketing strategies. Even wine labels are not consumer-friendly as they are written to satisfy government requirements and may not include information that is helpful to consumers. Fragments. The wine industry is more fragmented than any other consumer product. In 2019, the US consumed 370 million cases of wine, at 12 bottles a case. That adds up to approximately 4.4 billion bottles of wine in 1 year. Approximately half of the U.S. wine market is dominated by $3 billion conglomerates including E&J Gallo, i.e., Minichers, Taylor, Clos du Bois, Itancia, and Barefoot, Constellation Brands, i.e., Woodbridge, Robert Mondavi, Simi, and Lingua Franca, and the Wine Group, i.e., Almaden, 13 Celsius, and Benziger. These corporations produce, ship, and distribute thousands of bottles of wine each year around the world, and many are produced the same way Coca-Cola is fashioned to taste the same year after year, and available in huge quantities. The other half of the wine market is composed of thousands of tiny to medium-sized producers, and can be reviewed as the difference between agribusiness farming and farmers' markets. Taste. Perhaps the best way to understand wine is to drink lots of it, and take the time to taste the differences. French try to bridge the gap. For centuries, the French wine industry has been trying to find ways to sell more wine. They meet with each other, coordinate with each other, cooperate with each other as well as compete with each other, in order to try to simplify the complexities inherent to the wine industry. When their marketing schemes are successful, people buy more of their wines, making everyone happy. The group of winemakers that have been trying to push away the cobwebs that linger over aging wine barrels and simplify the wine buying experience are known as Les Crus Bourgeois du Medoc. Not every winery is permitted to be a member, or even be considered for membership. Criteria includes location. The wineries permitted to even think about joining this group must be from the following AOCs: Medoc Haut, Medoc Listrac, Medoc Malus, and Medoc Margaux Saint Julien Paulac et Saint Esteve. Judgment. The wineries are judged on the quality of the wine determined by blind tasting and consistency, traceability, and authentication for each vintage tasting checks before bottling over a 5-year period of the classification, at least 2 checks per property, environmentally friendly to the point of obtaining certification in environmental and sustainable growing practices. The 6-person judgment team is also concerned with promotions, quality of reception for professional visitors, and the general public at the winery, channels of distribution plus domestic and international marketing efforts. Stickers. All bottles of Crus Bourgeois du Medoc carry a unique secure visual recognition system embedded in a sticker. It is offered as a guarantee of quality, security, and authenticity. Currently, more than 25% of all the wine produced, bottled and sold from the Medoc is classified as Crus Bourgeois and includes 4,100 hectares of vines, producing over 29 million bottles of Bordeaux wines each year. The wines Les Crus Bourgeois. At a recent event held in Manhattan, I had the good fortune to explore a few of the wines that are classified as Crus Bourgeois du Medoc. My favorites: Chateau Padec d'Eau, 2018. Appellation: Medoc, terroir, limestone with clay and clay limestone. Varieties: 67% Merlot, 30% Cabernet Sauvignon, 3% Cabernet Franc, 2% Petit Verdot. Average age of vines: 40 years, aged 10 to 14 months, 80% in barrels, 1/3 new, 20% in concrete vats. The chateau is situated in Bégadin, northern Medoc, and 58 hectares of vineyards are spread through Bégadin and Saint Christophe du Medoc. The chateau is located 10 kilometers from the Gironde estuary and 30 kilometers from the Atlantic Ocean. The first owners of the chateau were descendants of the Count of Armagnac, the Chevaliers d'Eau, and the family can be traced back to 1632. The property was seized during the Revolution and changed into a stagecoach post, known as paddocks. The wines were Crus Bourgeois in 1932. Notes: to the eye, deep purple hues suggest a depth of taste, while the nose finds fruit of black cherries and spice alongside the minerality of wet rocks. The palate is entertained with supple blended tannins enhanced by oak, leading to an elegant and bright finish. Chateau de Melart, 2018. Appellation: Haut Medoc, terroir. Guns Gravels, varieties: 83.5% Merlot, 16.5% Cabernet Sauvignon, aging. Temperature-controlled steel tanks for 3 to 4 weeks before the wine is racked into barrels for 12 months, 1/3 new. The grapes are grown in 320-hectare plots of vines in the Haut Medoc and are 25 to 30 years of age. The Chateau de Melart has its roots in the 17th century. Pierre de Melart was knighted for his distinguished service to King Louis XIV. The property was sold to Philippe Frederick Klossman, and his family continues to be engaged in management of the vineyard. Notes: dark purple in the glass, the nose discovers black cherries and toasted oak. The palate experience features dark black fruit alongside toasty vanilla side by side with a sense earthiness. The finish is soft, fruity and elegant. Open well in advance of drinking as it opens beautifully over time. Chateau Cap Leon Verne, 2018. Appellation: Listrac Medoc, terroir, clay limestone, varieties: 58% Merlot, 39% Cabernet Sauvignon, 3% Petit Verdot. Average age of vines: 30 years, aging 12 months in barrels, 60% new. The Chateau Cap Leon Verne has been in the same family beginning the early 19th century, when the original estates, Chateau Cap Leon and Verne, were merged. The name is derived from its location, at the highest point or head of Listrac Medoc, giving the vineyard natural drainage and sun. The estate is managed by the 6th generation in the family, Natalie and Julien Maire. Notes: the eye is delighted with the darkness of ripe red cherries, while blackberries and ripe dark cherries deliver a delicious aroma to the nose heightened by the smell of wet rocks and dark moist soil. The palate finds silky, persistent tannins that add a backstory to the dark cherries that dominate the taste experience. Well structured with concentrated fruits, it is expected that this wine will age well. The Vinexpo event. This is a series focusing on Bordeaux wine. Read Part 1 here. Bordeaux wines started with slavery. Read Part 2 here. Bordeaux wine pivot from people to the soil. Read Part 3 here. Bordeaux and its wines change slowly. Read Part 4 here. Governance and associations of Bordeaux wineries. By law and by choice. Dr. Eleanor Gearley. This copyright article, including photos, may not be reproduced without written permission from the author. More news about Bordeaux. Number wine eTurboNews.com.
Thank you for listening to our news update. There's more on youtube.com/travel news group, or you can read us, of course, in going to our news portal at eTurboNews.com or travelnews.online.